On today's show, slightly myself talking about this Mavs win, how much Nurkic sucks. But this game by the Mavs was a lot of fun, and this defense was incredible. On today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
You are Locked On Mavs.
Great, Rusty.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Amazing.
Your team
Yeah.
every day.
You're locked on the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like I need to wait until the next part here. There it is. There it is. I'm Isaac. I'm one of your co-hosts on the show. And I feel like after a big win, we just got to let it ride a little bit. Got to let it ride a little bit.
Wait, is this the old song?
Is it? Should I play it when Nick's out? Let's just play the old intro music
It was feeling a little bit more vibey than usual.
and bring it back. Bring it back when Nick's is out, and he won't notice it. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen of the day. Go listen to Locked On NBA for your second listen. If you're a true Mavs fan, that you're already signed up for our Subtext program. It's our insider program. You get all the latest updates and news texted to you, and of course our free newsletter. Guys, it's free. You get one email a day. You don't get spammed with a ton of emails with all the latest Mavs news and that. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in the regular season action with FanDuel, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And joining me for the very first time of just us two is the one and only, the internet sensation, slightly biased.
The internet sensation. I'm ready for that to start translating to real life sensation.
I mean, you are a real life sensation too, right?
Yeah, I guess for some people, maybe.
You could tear it up on the basketball court, I've heard.
I'm all right. I don't know about tearing up.
Okay.
Hooping tomorrow morning if you want to come.
Ooh, I actually have a 13-hour drive tomorrow, but basketball
It's
sounds
like
so
a nice little 3-hour hoop session, then hop in the car for 13 hours.
then hop in. This Mavericks win. They beat the Phoenix Suns 98-89. They hold the Suns under 90 points in this game. And I kind of just want to start there with the defense. I think the defense was the story of the game, that anytime that you can hold a team under 90 points, let alone the Phoenix Suns, which is 24 points under their average this season, it's a huge win. And that's on top of, we'll get to the fight and all the stuff of losing some players mid-game. Just defense overall. What was were you shocked, or did you expect this?
No, I mean, this was definitely a great defensive performance by the Mavs. And I think, I just think they came in with a good defensive game plan, where the idea was we're going to limit drives to the rim, obviously. And then it's sort of the Mavs defense that we grow accustomed to, where they have schemes, and the idea is we're going to let certain guys shoot threes. If that's, Ryan Dunn shooting threes, so be it. If that's Josh Okogie shooting threes, so be it. And if those guys hit threes, then, good for them. But those are shots that we're comfortable with. And we're going to try to limit everything else as much as possible by running guys who are good shooters off the three-point line and having bodies in the paint, helping off of these shooters that we're comfortable letting shoot, and closing off driving lanes and making life as difficult as possible for the mid-range guys like KD, who still had a great game in this one, and Beal, who was horrific in this game. So just thought it was a great defensive effort by the Mavs, everyone, top to bottom.
Beal's do I waive my no trade clause? But I got to make sure I keep this money, because I'm never going to get this money again.
No, this is the last big one for Bradley Beal.
Especially after Maxi posted him. I was like, is it the odds increase now that you want to waive the no trade clause just to get out of here now? Or you just going to keep going? This Christmas Day, he played good on Christmas Day, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird and bizarre fit. I mean, it was from the beginning. It was a 2K trade the whole way. It was just overalls. You're just okay, yeah, you can get Bradley Beal, sure. And it hasn't materialized in any real way.
Big three, Brad Beal,
yeah,
Booker. I don't even know how many games they've all three suited up together.
Not many.
Yeah, because that was the thing that kind of played into their defensive game plan. I thought for Dallas was, you look at the Suns team when they're missing Devin Booker and they're missing Grayson Allen, and they're playing these guys like you said, and Okogie and Ryan Dunn. They were kind of daring the corner 3-point shooters of saying hey, we're going to kind of live with those shots and kind of like double, bring like a hard trap on KD, and then hey, we're just going to bank on us closing out on those corner shots. But honestly, if you get the shot off, we're kind of cool with it. And I think it was Bobby Crawley who tweeted out, was like, it's kind of risky for a team just to give up corner threes, but it's working. So,
Yeah.
so it's like, all right, cool. Like, keep doing it.
Yeah, and I mean they were 8 of 15 on corner threes, so they were knocking them down in this game, but they were 5 of 19 on non-corner threes and 14 of 40 in the mid range. So that's sort of what the idea is. I don't know what this camera thing is about to make me lose my mind, but that was the game plan right there, where they knocked down their corner threes, but everything else was a complete and total struggle for the Suns in this game.
Yeah, well, that mid-range number, in giving up some of those threes, it's because they're wanting to try to make that mid-range so difficult on like a KD, and that number shows that hey, those traps, those doubles, those clogging the paint on these mid-range shots for even like a Bradley Beal, it was working in that game. They held the Suns to 25 points in the first quarter, in the second or in the first half alone. Under was it? Well, I think it was 39 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Under 40 points. The second quarter was just incredible. Like, hook it up to my veins, just clip that quarter out, and maybe like start my day. I think that's the thing. Like, I need to start my day off with that, watching that quarter, and then I'm ready to just attack the day.
Yeah, 5 of 20 from the field for the Phoenix Suns in that quarter. And I'm looking at it right now. They only got 3 corner threes in that quarter, so they closed off that well. And everything. I mean, 1 shot at the rim in this quarter. So many shots, 10 to 15 feet away from the basket. Which is, hey, there's going to be games where KD can't miss those and Beal can't miss those and whatever. You tip your cap, and that's why they go out and get those guys, whatever. But those are shots that you live with 10 times out of 10. And you got to give credit to the big. I thought Gafford was great in this game.
Yeah.
And when we'll talk about Maxi's offense here in a bit, I'm assuming, but when you can put like a Maxi out there next to another power forward, and then before PJ got ejected, you can have so much size on the court that, man, those mid-range shots just aren't easy.
Yeah.
And Grimes is a smaller guard, but it felt like he played the best defense.
Yeah.
On KD in this game.
Yeah.
Out of all the players on the Mavs.
Yeah, I thought PJ early on. I saw, I think it was Brandon Clean, our Locked On Suns guy, was saying how like, is PJ like the perfect KD defender because he has all of these attributes that you'd want for a guy to defend KD. When you look at this Mavs team in this first game without Luka, as far as this injury set here, which I thought that was funny too, because like the official Mavs people, like Kid and even like follow some of them, they wouldn't say like reevaluated in a month, because that didn't come from the Mavs. It came from Shams and them. And so it's like, oh, he's going to be out for a while. He's going to be reevaluated for a while, in a little while. But first game without Luka, if you're like looking at things that the Mavericks have to do when Luka is out, and you're looking at like Kyrie has to do this or PJ has to do this, the team defense has to be this. Is it the team defense that has to be this good tonight while Luka's out? They have to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the offense is a little bit better in another game, so you don't have to be holding teams to 89 points. But this is how they're going to have to win games without Luka, is just get it out of the mud, grind out these pretty gross looking games. This is what they did at the end of the season last year. But you're going to get a couple of Kyrie games here and there where he pops off for 45, and you might have a Klay game where he gets 28 or something like that. But by and large, it's just going to have to be a balanced scoring attack like we saw tonight, and just dig in defensively. That's where you're going to have to make your mark there. So yeah, this is probably how it's going to look for the next month or so.
And that's what I was pretty happy with tonight, that the fact that it was a defensive game and their defense looked that good, of like, all right, if you're going to miss Luka, now's your chance to turn into like an elite defense and say, hey, for this time being, we're going to kind of adapt to being this. Yes, offense can be better, but we're going to adapt to being this. We're rolling Naji out there with PJ, probably not Naji tomorrow night, but it's like we're gonna like have this defensive minded units out there. Hopefully Lively's back soon, and we can just like lean on our defense more than anything else when Luka's out. So we're gonna take a break, but I want to come back and talk about the Nurkic Naji incident. I want to go scene by scene.
The incident.
I need all of your reaction to it. I purposely didn't watch your clip of your live stuff on playback because I'm like, I just want to ask him live about this. Yeah, let's take a quick break real quick.
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
This podcast is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Slightly, do you watch the NFL?
No, but for the purpose of this ad read, sure.
Yes, you do. Are there any more things to bet on for the Cowboys right now? Maybe
the worst decision possible would be probably the best bet.
Well, you can't put bets on the Cowboys in the playoffs, but the NFL playoffs are almost here. It's not too late to get in the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up the dub. And one of the cool things with FanDuel is you go into the postseason, it might not be a Dowdle touchdown that you're trying to put money on because he's not going to be playing. But if you want to put some money on like a Derrick Henry touchdown, you could do that. Or which team will score the most points in the first half, you could do that. All on FanDuel, the sportsbook, FanDuel.com. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your chance. $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an unofficial sportsbook partner of the NFL. All righty. This is where Nick is.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
I'm not even going to attempt to do the break music, like coming out of it. He does like the cool music there, and it's like dun dun dun. And I'm like, yeah.
No. You were saying before the show started that it's not Nick, it's his soundboard. That's the big secret.
I mean, it's pretty much it. Yeah, he's got a pretty good setup. Someone wrote on Subtext, which make sure y'all subscribe to that. Said, "Hey, love the show today, but you're just not Nick." And I'm like, the guys, that's so true. Nick
That's
is
true. You aren't Nick.
All right, let's talk about it. Us in our matching brown sweatshirts.
Comfy. Where's yours? Mine's from Abercrombie.
Mine is
Not sponsored.
Fear of God. Fear of God.
Oh, whoa, Drip King.
I used to have... All right, here we go. So the offensive foul by Nurkic on Gafford.
Yep.
Kind of lowers the shoulder, but it was that arm. It was that left arm he brings up, hits Gafford, and there in the jaw, Gafford falls down. Offensive foul on Nurkic. He's starting to walk away, but clearly something is said from Naji and PJ and those guys as Gafford's on the floor. Nurkic comes back. What's your thoughts when Nurkic comes back? Naji walks up, and where they're face to face. What's going through the slightly brain?
Naji stayed up for his teammates.
Yep.
Thought they probably would have gone and looked at that foul, even if that didn't happen. So Naji stayed up for his teammates. You're gonna get the classic. We're going back and forth with the cameras. You're gonna get the classic. NBA. I'm in your face. Hey, what are you gonna do about it? Oh, that's messed up, man. Oh, talk to you.
Hold me back.
Game.
Hold me back.
Yeah, hold me back. You sit there. Hey, you're not gonna do anything. Teammate comes. Hey, I'm about to beat him up. That type of thing. That's what I thought we were about to get. And then Nurkic throws the first punch heard around the world.
What? I mean, it was like a club. It was like he couldn't decide, like, am I going to do a punch or am I going to do a slap? So I'm just going to swing a club like he's a rock monster from like Frozen and just like clubs Naji upside the head. I'm like, whoa! And Followell's reaction, I'm like, Mark is all of us right there. And, whoa!
Yeah.
And then Naji swings. And there's this picture of like not any, Naji lands, he gets contact, but it's barely on the like the clips the jaw ear, line there. And there's this picture of Nurkic like kind of holding Naji back some. And I'm like, dude, your like slight left-handed hold off saved you from getting like full contact, like fully connected Joe Frazier knocked out by Naji.
Not like when was the last have we ever seen a full-fledged knockout in an NBA fight? Like I'm trying to think because you had the Rugnet Odor Jose Bautista fight where it was like Rugnet Odor clocked Jose Bautista and you could tell he was out of it.
Naji was really close for me in the new Odor.
God. Yeah, I know he was close. That would have been actually crazy if Naji Marshall. I could see that. That's actually like a pretty apt comparison, player to player wise, like with just how they play and operate. But it was weird. It was like the Nurkic one. It didn't feel committed. Like he didn't feel committed to whatever he was about to do. I think in his brain, the idea was cool. And then he started about halfway through. He was like, "Oh, I'm about to actually hit this guy." And he like maybe tried to slow down. And I kind of felt Naji's was the same. I felt like Naji's was a little bit kind of, am I actually about to punch this guy in the face during an NBA game type of punch?
Yeah.
And
I
then,
thought Naji had a little bit more to it. Yeah, I'm with you on
I mean,
Nurkic.
Naji went for the punch. Like
Yeah.
Nurkic was, like you said, a club. Naji went for the punch.
Yeah, and Nurkic, he's like, you're saying like him not being committed. I mean, it's kind of like the example of like his play and him as a person and player is like, dude, you don't commit to anything because you suck at playing basketball. And it's like you commit to like flopping for a guy his size. And it's like you would think like you walk up to an NBA game like, dude, that dude out there, he's so tough. Like no one's gonna mess with that guy. It's like, no, dude, he's actually a fake tough guy. Like he's one of those dudes that just is weak. He's just fake, and he's just gonna do this crap all the time. And I don't know. I've just never liked him, and it just happened to be him in this game. And I'm like, dude, he's one of the few players that I just have been very adamant that I don't like, and now the fuel is even more.
Yeah, and I mean, it is like you said, when you're that big, the flopping can get sort of out of control, especially for a player. It's one thing if you are, look, Embiid's flopping is out of control, obviously, but Embiid's like an offensive engine and he's shooting a bunch of shots. Like he's trying to get to the free throw line to score 35 points. Like that's one thing. Nurkic is on another level. And also Nurkic annoys me so much. He's never committed a foul in his life. Like there's obviously so many guys like this, but Nurkic takes it to another level where it's like, oh, Nurkic is upset and he got called for a foul. Wow, what a shocker there. And then you see the replay. He commits 4 different infractions in one play. But I mean, it was pretty funny. There's a funny clip going around of Kyrie's face too during the whole
incredible.
Where he's just like, "Oh, we're actually throwing punches." Like that's everyone just stood around for a bit, like, "Whoa!" I always love the replays of that because you see everyone standing around and everyone's kind of smiling because it's like, "Oh, here we go," type of like NBA fight, and everyone's just like, "Yeah!" And then when punches get thrown, everyone's face like, "Oh my god, this actually turned into something."
There." Yeah, because it's like 95% of the time, like you said, it's just like we're going to eat each other's face, maybe a push, maybe, and then that's kind of it. What'd you think about PJ getting thrown out?
I don't understand. I guess he did shove Nurkic pretty hard. I will say that everyone's
knocked him down.
Knocked him down. People were texting me that was a baby shove. No, I think the replay too. Like he got underneath. It was like he was pushing a sled in like a football drill. I don't know. I guess if the Mavericks lost the game, I probably would have a much different opinion. But they won, so whatever it is, what it is. It was funny, and PJ won't be suspended or anything like that. Naji will absolutely be suspended.
Yeah, so they're saying on the broadcast, anytime you throw a punch, it's at least one game. So we're going to be missing Naji there at least for a game, and Nurkic, I don't really care what happens to him, but it was
addition by subtraction for them.
Yeah, it was a super big bummer from the Mavs side. It's like, somebody tweeted at me, and you're like, this is kind of messed up that the guy who threw the first punch, his team gets a free throw on the ball after this. It's like, well,
yeah, everyone was like, we were making jokes that the crowd was like laughing at Naji leaving and cheering Naji getting thrown out, and it was like, no, actually, I think they're cheering Nurkic getting thrown out.
Yeah, show Nurkic leaving the game. That's what.
Yeah, the crowd's like, thank God this guy's off the court.
That's kind of what they're cheering for. Kyrie Irving in this game. I mean, he was the leading scorer. You mentioned his face a while ago, which was hilarious. 20 points. I mean, as the leading scorer with just 20 points, it shows you the overall scoring, like team win it was. Obviously, he was on fire early on. Second half, is this like, does any of it give you like a little bit of worry of, man, like there's too much on Kyrie's shoulders while Luka's out, or is it just an adjustment in the offensive scheme?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I was, dooming a little bit in regard to the Luka injury because everyone, points to the 6-2 record, which is incredible. But I was saying there's a big difference when it's like Luka's out for the next 2 games. Can you guys like pull us out of the mud versus Luka's going to miss the next month plus? That's a much different workload. And a game like tonight, the Suns don't really have like the size you see other teams have that they can put on Kyrie to neutralize him like we've seen in the past. But Okogie did a great job. And in the fourth quarter late, the Mavs were like having a really tough time just even getting the ball to Kyrie Irving. And the fact that he doesn't bring the ball up because they want to, limit how much I'm assuming he's on ball and dealing with ball pressure and stuff like that. He started the game 4-4 and went 2 of 17 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little crazy. I mean, it's encouraging that they don't need that to win, because in years past, like you were mentioning at the top, how the defense was good. Like in years past, you would have been like Kyrie and Tim Hardaway Jr. That game last year, they both had 40 points without Luka. And you're just like, all right, that's not sustainable. Like that's not a winning formula at all. But in a game like this, Kyrie will be better than this. But I do think it's a heavy workload on him, and it's a little concerning.
Yeah. I mean, Tim goes to Detroit, and now they're winning basketball games. So maybe
he's just a winner, man.
Maybe he's a winner. Coming up after this, I want to talk about Maxi Kleber, because that guy had an incredible game. Let's take a quick break real quick.
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
This podcast is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time. If I could pull up the ad here, I would read the Game Time ad. That would be awesome. Hey, listen, it's fun watching games on TV, but it's even better to watch games live. What's the last live event you went to, Slightly? Any type of event?
Went to the Christmas Day game.
Oh, yes. You watched the Mavs at T-Wolves. How much better is it live than watching on TV?
So much better.
The vibes in the arena and everything. Here's the cool thing with Game Time that can help you get tickets to these types of games. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. And get this, it has a filter that you fluff out and show you the incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They even have a feature, this is my favorite part about Game Time, to where you can toggle in the all-in pricing to where you don't get surprised about all those dumb, stupid fees at the end. You can have the feature on in Game Time and not be surprised by all of that. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Ad break music plays now. All right. Maxi Kleber. He had one of the ugliest 3-point makes I've ever seen in my life the other night. And it was like a brick half wedgie, but you didn't have to like pull the wedgie out. It was just like, hey, this is about to be a wedgie, but then it like bounced up, went in. He's obviously struggled this season. Tonight, I mean, what were your glasses doing when you were watching Maxi play basketball tonight?
I was taking them off and rubbing them to make sure I was seeing this is what it looked like.
Looks like
this is what it looked like. I'm like, this can't be real.
Your camera's like, if Nurkic was a webcam.
Dude, I don't understand what the deal is with this. It's only on my Mac. It works fine on everything else. But no, that's funny you said that about that shot he made. I've never seen a shot like that ever.
No.
From that angle to hit the back of the rim like that and roll in. I've literally never seen that. But man, I mean, look, he's been great defensively the past couple of weeks. It's just offensively, can we prevent him from being a complete and total black hole? And the answer to that question was no for a while. But it's turning around recently. And 15 points tonight. It is just like, how many of his shots tonight were end of shot clocks? All of them? Like all of his makes?
Was the poster on Beal at the end of the shot clock? I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, the poster and the dunk at the end for sure. But he had a 3, and then that runner was crazy.
What was that?
He just gets the ball, don't think, do something. It's good, and he's had some impressive driving kicks lately too. But yeah, man, you got to give him a lot of props because he gets a lot. He gets a lot of trash whenever he's not playing well, and I think he deserves some credit when he plays well. Because
he gives that, and we've said it so many times about Maxi. All of us have said this, that Maxi gives them something at the 5 spot that they just don't have. Like Lively doesn't have the 3 yet, so he's the only option. Like when they go really small and they don't want to put PG at the 5, they could throw Maxi out there. And plus, there's some minutes last year or some combinations last year to where him and Lively together was pretty good. So he could play alongside one of those guys, or he could be that stretch 5. And yeah, he had some moment. He had that pump fake in the corner, and just like one dribble up mid range. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? Take this midi here, and yeah, the one, what was it, like a floater type of thing he did there in the four. And I'm like, all right, just showing off.
Runner 15 feet away. I mean, if I were a Suns fan, man, that one would have not felt good.
Tough game to go to if you're a Suns fan, and if you used Game Time to go to that game, and is a tough experience. Senior team, they can't even put up 40 points in the first half, and then Maxi's doing that. And all right, I got to ask you this question here.
These are the worst games to go to.
yeah, they are. The Klay breaking KD's ankles. Did he push off? And you could say no.
No, he definitely most ankle breakers are usually either pushes or a guy steps on someone else's feet. But you don't look at that though. You just look at the guy falling.
I was gonna say we don't look at the replays. We don't look at the guy falling. And they had some little interactions tonight that I thought was kind of like fun to watch. Him and Klay.
Yeah, dude, Klay just looks like he's having a blast. Like that. I mean, I guess there was a world where this could have gotten weird and whatever. But he just looks like he's having so much fun playing basketball. And KD, I was giving him props because I just like the way KD handles himself a lot of the times, especially. Yeah. It just feels like he loves playing the game, obviously, and he just loves competing, and he has so much respect for other guys across the league. So it was fun watching those two go at it. You kind of forget their teammates. Like you saw the KD versus, Russ. And that's like obvious. KD and Steph. It's like, well, KD and Klay were also,
they won a title together.
Yeah, they did win a couple titles together.
Yeah, seeing them kind of go at it after that play, I think KD came down and drained a shot, and then he fouled. I think Klay fouled him hard in the second half, and it's just funny seeing their interactions. Love seeing the guys on the floor like that have relationships, interact and stuff. And we didn't get Booker and Luka in this game, and that's
I know.
A fun part of having Mavs Suns and all that.
I'm wondering if maybe this little. I'm reading some of the quotes now. It's funny. All the Suns players are like, yeah, I don't know. Nurkic must have been frustrated. Like it didn't seem like they were
okay.
Like sticking up for him too hard there. But no, I'm interested because the rivalry lost some steam. Like it has. I wouldn't even put the Suns probably in the Mavs top 3 rivals currently. But you
really? Now I'm thinking about
under number 1.
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. OKC, yeah, for sure. I just hate this
a little bit.
Who'd you say?
I feel like Minnesota has some more juice to it now with the Gobert stuff.
The playoffs, yeah. I mean, facing a team in the playoffs just gives so much, and that's where I still give the Suns. I think they're like 3rd or 2nd. It's just when Booker plays, Booker's so easy to dislike. And when him and Luka doesn't like him, they have that series and beating them in 7 games. The one that's like fallen off for me has been the Clippers one, to where like it's still annoying. It's still good to like beat them, but it's kind of like lost some steam for me.
Yeah, I never really thought the Clippers were a great Mavs rival because the Mavs couldn't beat them. They beat them last year, and that was great. But I do agree. My thing, I guess, with the Suns rivalry is like I've always liked Book. I've always liked Devin Booker. I have a pair of his basketball shoes, so I don't like feel the hatred that a lot of people do. I think, and it's just weird. Like the playoffs, that was a great series, and there was for sure a big rivalry brewing there. But Book is the only guy left on that team from that series.
That's true.
And for the Mavs, it's what Luka, Spence, Dwight Powell, Maxi. Like that's it.
That's pretty tough. Yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't have like the same.
Booker's still annoying to me. I will say this: he's one of the guys that he gained some respect for me in Team USA.
Yeah,
in seeing how he played and stuff with those guys, and he always gives a crap. And for me, I always just there's a respect level. It's always gonna like be at a certain bar whenever you try on both ends of the floor, and you give a crap every time you play. And some of the like Mavs stuff has been super annoying, and I think he's a Kardashian like Pez dispenser half the time when he drives. But yeah, he's kind of annoying. Finishing on the Nurkic point here, I didn't know Mike Malone was talking to the Kings and Nurkic at the same time when he said "no class, no balls." So I
picked up on that. Was subtle. That was a subtle little some shade by Michael Malone. Wait, did you see Naji Marshall made his Twitter header him punching Nurkic? He's already changed.
Is this real?
This is real. This is real. Naji Marshall's Twitter header as of right now. I actually think he's gonna get more than one game, to be honest with you.
Okay, if he's like showing it off, then we might see him.
Look at it. It really is. That's hilarious. Well, that and two, I don't know. I'd have to see an alternate angle, but his gestures to the crowd, I don't think the NBA is going to like that.
I was looking at that exact same thing, and I'm like, just go in the tunnel. Just go in the tunnel.
That might give him an extra game. So it might be 2. It might be 2 games.
Yeah, he might be missing that Sacramento game too. Then, if he's putting it as his Twitter header and and all of that. No Mike Brown for that game. Did you do a video on Mike Brown getting fired?
No, I mean, the coaches being the scapegoat's not a new phenomena, and it was bad enough there. I guess the way that he did it, from what it sounds, that they did it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
On the runway, basically.
All right, I want to close the show on this. Slightly give me like a report card grade. Nick was out. He obviously didn't host this show. I did. I filled in. How did I do? Be honest.
I'd give it a solid B plus. I thought it was good. I don't know if you're gonna get an email from Tegna about the music choice at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know how that works though. I don't know.
Should I edit that or no?
Do the weekend shows go on TV? I thought that was the whole reason why they were.
That's true. We're safe. We're good.
All right, then we're good.
Right, we're good.
People are going to be very pleased at that. I didn't even realize that. Halfway through, I was like, I thought
it was the new one. So if it is the old one,
maybe I'm Nick. Wrong, but it felt a little bit more vibey. And I've been a defender of the new music, but there is something about the old one.
Nick's gonna kill me for that one then. All right, guys. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. It's free. Sign up for that. Slightly appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Real quick, if you're still watching the show at this point, that we might be a little delayed on Saturday night's post-game show. If it doesn't come out immediately after that game, look for it on Sunday at some point. But catch it in. Mavs Blazers Saturday night. Peace out.
Gonna be a barn burner.
Barn burner. No Luka. No Naji. No.
Probably no Kyrie.
On Prancer and Vixen. On Comet and Cupid. Probably no Kyrie.